You know that MTN has a product, they have something that they are using, but they are going to use that money to finance. But when somebody somewhere who you don't even know what they are into just come about and say, okay, it is what I want to use your money for, you are confused about it, right? So now we have the corporate organizations and we have the investors. We have the government and we have the investors. And the people standing in between them, they are called the financial intermediaries. And when you're talking about financial intermediaries, we could actually refer to them as the likes of banks, the normal deposit money banks or commercial banks, or we can actually talk about investment banks as well, or we can even talk about asset management companies. So all of these people are the ones that bring these two parties together, the buyers and the sellers. I'm going to go straight and I will start talking about what securities are. Now, there are different types of securities that can be traded in this market, and one of it is equity, which is also referred to as stock. Then we also have the preference shares, we have the ventures or bonds, we have mutual funds, and we have government securities, which I already gave an example as treasury bills, and we have so many others as well. But I'm also going to talk about the fact that the stock, just like I've mentioned earlier, is a way by which corporate organizations raise money from the society or from investors in a way to be able to finance, their projects. But when it comes to bonds, bond is a way by which, although it's not just government that raise bond or issue bond actually. There is also state or municipal bond, and we also have corporate bonds. What you must understand is that the higher the risk, the higher the return. So what the government is going to pay you on a bond cannot be compared to what a corporate organization is going to pay you, because we all believe that even if anything happened, let's assume that MTN even run away from Nigeria, the federal government of Nigeria has nowhere to run to. So because of that, they give you rates that are lower than what you can actually expect in other places. Now, I've also explained why security markets are essential. I told you that they provide opportunity for entrepreneurs to be able to raise capital for their businesses. And also, for investors, stock markets provide a way to invest money and exit when they want to. Now, the question is, why do we invest? Why do we invest? One thing you must understand is that you are not going to have the opportunity to continue to work forever. While you are working, the money that you need to be able to retire comfortably is actually planted in your today. So we have the accumulation stage, which is when you start working, you start moving from one level of career, one level of career ladder to the other. Then we have the preservation stage or the distribution stage. That is when you start distributing your money into different investment vehicles, right? You start investing in stocks, you start investing in bonds, commercial papers, treasury bills, and all of that. Then we have the preservation stage. That is when you're already at retirement and you cannot actually afford to commit money into risky products, right? So understanding that if you really want to maintain your standard of living, recently PiggyVest actually gave a report, and they said 20% is a survey actually, so it's not the entire Nigeria that were captured. But in the report they said only 20% of Nigerians don't save. Okay, I was like, wow, let's celebrate that. The 80% that save, a lot of them, a lot of them are Gen Zs. And guess what they are saving for? Can anyone guess? They are saving to Japa. So it's like a lot of us, we are just beclouded. We are not seeing into the future. While I'm not totally against that, I'm also being very conscious of the fact that it's not everybody that will be able to relocate out of Nigeria. So being able to put your priority right is very, very important. I'm going to go very fast into benefits of investing early. I'm going to throw this question to us, that if we should start investing 50,000 naira every month from now, I know all of us are going to graduate, we will get good jobs, we are going to be living comfortably by the grace of God. So imagine that you start working with one of the 4 big banks and you are being paid good money and you can afford to actually start setting 50,000 naira aside, from now, let's say till you are age 60. How much do you even think that will be? I'm telling you that you would have been able to contribute somebody who is 25 years and continue to do this for till 60 years would have been able to contribute 21 million naira, 50,000 naira every year, without interest, without anything. But if this person decides that, okay, I'm going to actually keep doing this every month, continuously, without breaking the bank, the person will actually have 189 million naira plus if invested in a 10%, in a 10% average return. Now, that is a 21 million naira. I've actually sat down with clients during session, and we've been able to discover that it's even possible for you to earn billions of naira with 200,000, with 100,000 if committed to it. But the problem a lot of people have is what we call, I just want it now and I want it now. Remember the video that we just watched a few minutes ago? The man said, 5%, 10%. What is that? It's because we are always having huge appetite for big return. But I can promise you that if you will start something from today and you will continue to do it monthly or every time, you stand a chance to actually become one of the richest people in the world. I'm going to run very fast now and say this last one, which is very important. And that is how important it is, because somebody also mentioned that, okay, we have investment platforms in Nigeria that are actually not being regulated by SEC, but probably they are being regulated by US SEC and all of that. Some of us don't even know, okay, after telling us about all of this thing, where do we even start? As your bank account is meant for your safekeeping, use your bank account for transaction. There is an account meant for stockbroking, and that is called CSCS. That account is actually what makes it possible for you to know, okay, this is what I have in Dangote, this is what I have in BUA, this is what I have in MTN now, and all of that. So you have to actually look for an asset management company. You can actually search for them on SEC as well. And choose any of them and ensure that you go through whatever KYC documentation that you need to go through. Register with them so that a CSCS account can be assigned to you, and probably a broker will also be assigned to you as well. So that way you're not going to wait till the future, but you will start investing from now. Thank you so much.
All right, Dr. Temilola Adeyemi, Senior Research Associate, Money Africa there. Let's put our hands together once again for her. She's been speaking on how and why of investing in the capital markets. I know you have questions for her. Just note the questions, but quickly we want to move to the next paper, the next session now. And I will be inviting the MD United Capital Assets Management PLC, Mrs. Udiri Ogini, who is ably here represented by the Head Institutional Sales, United Capital Assets Management PLC, Mrs. Ubonaya Osi. She will be talking on investing in mutual fund, how much you should know. She's doing that also in the next 15 minutes. Happy listening.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, sirs. Good afternoon, Mars. Thank you for this opportunity. I must commend you for having such a platform. And you don't know what you have. Trust me, that you have this platform that you can come together, collaborate with one another, and be taught of next steps to take as you journey through life. Thank you for this platform once again. We have 9 schools here represented. I want each and every school to yay, this is going to be a participatory kind of platform. And I have Landmark University, and I must commend the school again, because we had one of you intern with us last year, and trust me, she had a very good time with us. We also have Accra University, Kwara State University, Summit University, University of Ilori, Ojaja University, Thomas Adamu University, University of Offa, and Almer Pateji University here represented. Thank you. My name is Ugonaya Osi. I head the institutional sales team of United Capital Asset Management. I'm representing my MD, Mrs. Odiri Ogini, who is unavoidably absent. So we will delve into the conversation for today. I will appreciate if I have someone talk about mutual fund. What do you know that is mutual fund from any of the universities? Do you have an idea what a mutual fund is? No idea from the 9 schools. Or collective investment scheme. Do you have an idea what a mutual fund is? That's good. All right. Can I know your school? Ojada. Great. He wants a microphone, please. Let's be quick. We have just 15 minutes for this section. Please be quick with the microphone.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
My name is Ibrahim Mohammed. I want to tell us about the meaning of mutual funds. A mutual fund is a type of investment vehicles that pool money from many investors to buy a varieties of securities such as bonds, stocks, and other assets. Thank you.
Great. Let's give him a round of applause. Ojaja University. So a mutual fund, right? It's an investment vehicle that pools funds from diverse investors to invest in portfolio securities. So I can have as low as 10,000 naira, you can have as low as 5,000 naira, another person can have as low as 100,000, somebody can have as much as 1 million, and we put the funds together and invest professionally for diverse investors such that the returns on this investment is shared amongst these investors. So nobody is left out. This is me saying, I have as little as this. How am I going to make so much? I won't feel left out that I don't have as much as 1 million, but I'm getting returns that is commensurate to my investments, right? So these funds are got from different people put together, and we invest in different instruments. Whilst talking about investing in different instruments, what are these different instruments? There's equities. There's fixed income instruments, there are money market instruments. Then I will further break it down for our understanding. When I say fixed income instrument, I'm talking about bonds, corporate bonds, federal government bonds. Money market instruments are liquid instruments, short-term instruments. Talking about CPs, that's commercial papers. We're talking about treasury bills and other money market instruments, fixed deposits. So pretty much those ones are short-tenured. That is for the money market instrument. Equities are listed stocks on the floor of the NGS. So these are few amongst every other form of investment. We have debt fund, we have real estate fund. There are diverse investments out there. The beauty of a mutual fund is that it is regulated by, of course, Securities and Exchange Commission. So you are sure that your money is safe. That's you can go to bed and you're like, okay, my money is safe. This is not you just thinking about your returns. You're also thinking about your safety of the funds that you've put down there. It is professionally managed. So you have the assurance that you don't need to continually monitor it that, oh, okay, I put 10,000 yesterday. Am I sure that it's not depleting the next day? No, there are professionals watching this investment for you to ensure that your funds do not go over, like we've discussed in the Ponzi scheme fund. So this is a totally safe investment, which is the mutual fund we're talking here. Then again, I will touch on the types of these mutual funds. There are equity funds, debt fund, balanced fund, money market fund. There are also advantages associated with investing in a mutual fund. Such advantages are diversification. When I talk about diversification, I'm saying that whilst investing, you can be rest assured that your risk is minimized because you are not just investing in one security alone. There is a spread of these securities. You're invested in the fixed income instrument, you're invested in the money market instrument. You are not just overly exposed to one. Thereby, you are maximizing your returns. So if there's anything that is volatile that affects one of your outlets, it doesn't collapse it as a whole. So there's that confidence that you have that your returns is safe and it's been maximized, right? You also have liquidity. When I say liquidity, I'm trying to say you could wake up after 3 months and you remember that there's a project you want to embark on, and you're like, okay, fine, I have invested up to 100,000, but I need 20,000 out of it to buy this particular thing. Why don't I go back and liquidate? So you have 24 hours to have your money back to you. It could even be less. Other than you saying, oh, I have to invest and liquidate, and it takes you 2 weeks to assess your funds. That is not the situation. So your fund is close to cash. So there's some form of liquidity associated with that. There's transparency in mutual funds. So the funds are listed. You can easily view your pricing and the performance of the fund on a daily basis. It's published on the website, so it's clear. There's no ambiguity around your investment. It is very suitable that you are sure that your funds are transparent. You don't need to necessarily come to the offices to assess it. You can just open your website and you see it. There's online access as well for you to view your investment on the comfort of your bedroom. You don't need to be physically present to ask for your statements and the likes. There's low entry, like I initially said. You can invest with as low as 5,000. It's early. It's better you start early now that you are still students. So in the next couple of years, you are sure that you have accumulated a lot of returns on that part. We've talked about flexibility as well, such that you can move from one investment to another. You don't necessarily have to be stuck in one particular investment. You could be getting your returns, very well in the money market space, and tomorrow you're like, let me add some bits of equities to it. There's that flexibility associated with it. So you can also apportion it, by diversifying. You don't have just 100% in one bucket. You have 10% in this, 20 here, 50 here. At the end of the day, you accumulate it all and get your returns. So it is flexible. It pays for diversification. You can enter with as low as 5,000, 10,000 and watch it grow and multiply over the time. Then we also encourage you rebalancing and monitoring your investment. So your original objective could change. My objective now could be, because I'm a student, I'm looking at long term, so I can invest in more riskier assets. But as I age further, I'm like, okay, let me rebalance. So it could be done on a quarterly basis, half yearly or full yearly, and I'm like, okay, fine, I could keep rebalancing my investment so that I can achieve my goals. So my goals change with time. It could also be a situation of you knowing that some of the assets you invested in are a bit volatile. I'm like, okay, let me reduce this and increase that. The aim at the end of the day is to have a safe investment. You could also look at your returns whilst watching your risk. So it works hand in hand. So you always talk about risk and losses, risk and returns, in investments, just so it's balanced overall. So I would say, let me also talk about the investment we have to offer, which is the mutual funds. We have 8 of it. There's dollar investment and the naira investment, which spans through the money market investment, which is pretty much low risk. The middle risk ones are the ones that have an element of equities in it or fixed income instruments, and the very high risk ones are the ones that have 100% equities. But like I said, it depends on the client, what you want to achieve for yourself and your overall objective. Thank you for having me. I think I'm within time.
Thank you very much for managing the time. Please, let's put our hands together for her, for the presentation, and also for managing the time well. Please, another round of applause. All right, we thank Mrs. Osi. And I know also you have questions for her. And likewise for Dr. Adeyemi, who did our presentation just before her. So we can now harvest all your questions and direct your questions to the person it is actually meant for. Meanwhile, I'd like to quickly recognize the presence of the ASU Chairman, University of Ilorin, Dr. Alex Akomu. You are very much welcome, sir. All right, questions? Thank you. So we have just 2 people. All right, 3 people. Microphone. 4. Landmark, we have the man in suit.
Good afternoon, everyone. I want to say a very big thank you for this opportunity to learn. My first question goes to the two final speakers. I want to ask if there's a way we can get access to your resources, because it looks like the session was kind of rushed. So if there's a way we can get access to the slides so that we can read more and then understand more. And then my other question is to Ms. Osi. Considering that one of the largest cash inflows in Africa is from the diaspora community, how visible can it be to pull funds from the diaspora community and invest in them with an Afro-capitalism philosophy that is investing in long-term assets that will facilitate Africa's development?
All right, thank you very much. For this session, we only have 7 minutes. Yes, and it's counting already.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Oyewole Aminat. I'm from Amapatage University. My question is directed to Mrs. Osi about mutual funds. So I want to ask her that, is there any differences between partnership business and mutual funds, or is there any relationship between the two? Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. There's still one more person. Yes. Then the fourth person is here.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Adegoke Redia from the University of Ilorin, and I must appreciate having the opportunity to be here today and learn a lot. So my questions are directed to, first, Dr. Adeyemi. Personally, I understand the reason why...
Please go straight to your question.
Okay, sorry. Is it possible that these organizations, SEC and Money Africa in question, is there any form of partnership with secondary schools? Because this is an awareness, and I understand why it's crucial to come to the university level, we invest. But then secondary school students, like probably the senior secondary school students, are usually aware when their parents want to make decisions like investing money into, we hear it when we are home, that, we want to do this or that. So if it's possible that they are aware at that stage, they might be able to curb in a way or the other. So that's my first question, and maybe a comment or an advice. Then the second one is to Mrs. Osima. You mentioned mutual funds. I'm a veterinary medical student. I have no idea. So pardon my question if it's naive. Mutual funds, is it a category of investment, or is it an individual entity, in the sense that you made it
all right, thank you very much. We move to number 4. Yes, we have the fourth person here.
Who is the person?
He's here.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Victor. I want to ask in terms of bankruptcy. We are talking about investments here. So I've heard stories about when people invest in businesses and then they just come up with a story. They are even registered business also, but comes with a story of bankruptcy. And according to the story I heard,
so what's your question?
They could not get back their money. Is it true? I just want to know if it's true that when there's bankruptcy, you can't get access to your money anymore.
Who are you directing your question to?
Anyone.
Dr. Adeyemi, it's okay. All right. So the microphone back to you. Okay.
Thank you for your questions. I will start with the category of investment that the mutual fund lies in. When I started, I was saying it's a collective investment scheme, right? So it's skewed towards pulling these funds from different retail investors or institutional investors and investing in these different instruments, as I earlier mentioned. So it's it's an investment by itself, right? That is regulated by the SEC. So it pays for safety, it pays for preservation of capital and returns, like I said initially. So you can be rest assured that there's 100% comfort in having that kind of investment outlet, which you can also monitor by yourself without any form of ambiguity. So it's clear, and it gives you the returns that you desire. Then as regards partnerships, no, we don't have partnerships in that regard. It's not a partnership kind of business. It's a mutual fund. You don't partner with other businesses. Then pulling funds from diaspora community that he asked. We have two funds in that regard. There's a Eurobond fund, there's a global fixed income fund. Those funds invest in dollar instruments, but locally for the Eurobond fund, the global fixed income fund has a portion that is gotten from these diaspora markets that you mentioned. So we also attract them into investing, bringing their funds back to the country and having these good returns and pulling it back into the country. So it's not all about just taking our monies out there. We're also confident and aware that we need to bring these funds back to the system and make the best returns within the system. So have our people bringing back their monies as they are, as it were, jack buying. They're also aware that they have to come back to us sometime. Thank you.
All right, thank you. And now to Dr. Adeyemi.
Thank you. So, to the question asking about collaboration between SEC and Money Africa, already, because Money Africa is something that we actually, that's what we do. So far this year, I think we've visited about 15 universities in Nigeria. Not just universities, let me say 15 high institutions, because we've also visited polytechnics and all of that. So I also believe that what SEC is doing now, they are actually, is a way of actually reaching out to students. So I want you to consider this as a good innovation already. We are going into secondary schools, and funny thing is that it's not just even Money Africa now. Other financial literacy companies are also doing the same thing that we are doing. So we have the interest of not just the elderly ones or the adults, but we also have the interest of both, young ones and children that are still in secondary school. Then to the second question, which is on bankruptcy, I want you to understand that when you are investing in any company, you must first understand that you are investing for gain or for loss, because you are not just an active investor. I mean, you are not part of the management board and all of that, but you become part of them, right? That is called a passive partnership, and that is why we normally have, notice of annual general meeting anytime that is going to happen in any company being issued to you. But in the situation where there is bankruptcy, you must first understand that the first category of investors that will be taken care of are most likely the preference shareholders before it gets to you, the ordinary shareholders. But just like Dr. Ewale mentioned while he was giving his speech, that there is protection for investors when it comes to maybe a company that is being regulated, but for one reason or the other that is beyond the knowledge of investors, there is protection for them. But bear in mind that when you are investing in certain investment, it's for the good and it's for the worse. Thank you.
All right. Okay, thank you very much. I hope your questions have been answered. And moving to the next thing, we actually have one more paper left. But just before we listen to that paper, we'll first listen to Her Excellency, the Honorable Commissioner for Education and Human Capital Development, Kwara State, Hajia Saadatu Modibukahu, ably represented by Mrs. Roseline Omolola Anyonshola of the Department of School Services. She's giving a goodwill message. Just in 2 minutes, she's doing that. You're welcome, madam.
Good afternoon, the Vice Chancellor, the Director, and please permit me to stand on the existing protocol because of time. I want to say I'm honored to be part of this laudable program that is Investor Education for Emerging Economy program. Honestly, when I came, I said, I don't know how we're going to do it, but I just know that we are here. And having listened to the speakers that spoke when we arrived and the one that just left this place, I discovered something that, you know, when you have an information and you don't spread it, that information may be used against you, maybe positively or negatively. Now that we have heard about this program, Security and Exchange Commission, these people are regulators, and as students, I believe we have heard, and we should know the way out to make sure that we stand on those lectures delivered to us, and to also please pass the information across to other students that are not here, so that they will know the danger and the opportunities that are there. And I'm encouraging each and every one of us that it's not everyone that can japa. There are opportunities here in Nigeria if we make use of them. Please and please try to wait for your time. And I'm representing my honorable commissioner. Just like you know, the office is a demanding one. She's currently in another pressing official assignment, Ajia Saadatu Modibo Kawu, and that is why she's not here today. But she asked me to greet everyone, and the students should please adhere to whatever they are given here today. Thank you, and God bless you all.
Thank you very much, the Honorable Commissioner. Thank you for the goodwill message. And I'm calling next on Lotus Capital. Lotus, are they here? All right. Thank you. And from one of our vice chancellors, calling on the VC or Jaja University.
Well, on behalf of the KU8, I want to say thank you so much for attending today's event, and I want to thank the Security and Exchange Commission for this privilege of gathering us together to be a part of the larger economy. I believe our students are very lucky, and I'm sure as from today they're going to, tell us, and they're going to, have a kind of trust in what they have had here today, and translate that to greater tomorrow. And I'm sure there will be greater players in SEC as from today. Thank you so much, and I wish you the best in going back to your different places. Thank you.
And Lotus Capital, in 1 minute.
Good afternoon, everyone, and permit me to stand on existing protocol. My VC, I'm also a better by far, so I'm excited to be here. And thank you also to SEC for coming up with an K8, if I got it right. So to all the students that are here and universities represented, I'm saying a very big congratulations on you. A lot is actually happening, and only few people have this kind of opportunity to be here. So, and I was having a conversation about 3 students. They are the first day they came here this morning, and I was like, do you people even invest? They say, it's not who has money that invests. I was now like, that is one thing we actually need to change about the students. So I now started now, I was like, are you on TikTok? They said yes. Instagram, they say, yeah. And use data, yes. What about the eateries? They say, of course. Even looking nice. By the time you aggregate what you spend in a month on these things, In fact, one of them was like, Oga, I think it's enough. So, and this mutual fund we're even talking about with a little, as little as 5,000 naira every month. So I have about 5 students I mentor, and also some NYC University, NYC Youth Corpus. For the students, there are about 5, I said, keep, investing 5,000 naira. So some of them are in their second year, some are in their third year. And if you invest 5,000 naira every month, in a year, that's 60,000 naira. Times 4, that's 140,000 plus what the returns. You are still better than someone that had the opportunity and never did that. And also for the youth corpus, the allowance they are giving to you, please don't eat everything. So invest, from it too. So, and I think it's a very good opportunity for you all to be here, and I believe all that have been said. Dr. Akim Oyewale has said so much. All other speakers have actually made things so easy for us. And also the issue of a Ponzi scheme, please take it very, very, very well. I mean, Google is your friend. SEC platform is there, and all the companies represented here, also one of the sponsors of this program, are all there for you to do what? To learn so much from. Thank you so much. Abitemi Ola, Lotus Capital Business Manager. Thank you.
Marble Capital. Okay. Utika. There. Utika. Okay. Come in. Oh. Please, let's put our hands together for her. I guess she's been busy with registration of participants outside. All right. You're welcome. Your goodwill message in a minute.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Adironke Osho, and I work with Utica Capital Limited as portfolio manager. I'd like to say thank you to SEC. This is very awesome. This is very genuine, and I pray that, I hope that everyone here takes something out of here. But I would just like to say this in summary. We've heard a lot about Ponzi schemes and the likes, but behind every investor in Ponzi scheme is greed. So please, as much as possible, do not be greedy. Thank you.
Smartly delivered as she is. Put her hands together for her once again. And FMDO, I'm not sure they are ready for us. So distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we want to thank you very much. We still have one more presentation, actually, but while...
Oh, the good old days. When the only worry was finding a good book.
Please join me to welcome the next presenter, Mrs. Shola Adeshaki.
Those were the days when
the founder of Smart Stewards.
From one gem.
Put your hands together as she comes forward. You are tired already, are you? All right, Mrs. Shola Adeshaki, founder Smart Stewards, will be talking to us in the next 10 minutes on how and why of investing in capital market. How and why of investing in capital market. We've all been waiting for you, madam. You're welcome.
Thank you. Good afternoon. Ladies and gentlemen, permit me to call you that. It's been a long day already. From a delayed flight, as usual, to having to touch base. But it just gives me joy that I made it, like against all odds. Please clap for me. Can you see how I just to be here. Distinguished panel of judges, I don't know what to call you, all protocols observed. I'm glad to be here, and I think, like I already said, it is divine, and I hope that the things I'm going to share in the next few minutes would resonate with you and go into the future with you. First of all, thank you to SEC and all the organizers of this event. I believe that we're raising a generation of wealthy people, like people who are literally becoming billionaires out of school, right? I was in your shoes about 23 years ago when I left school, yes. And I qualified as a chartered accountant about a year after that. So let me brag a bit. I'm a fellow of ICANN, fellow of ACCA, I have CPA, I have an MBA, yes. But why am I saying this? In the earlier days of my career, nobody was teaching us how to invest or manage our finances. So we literally learned all of these things in very difficult ways. For the earlier part of my career, I was always broke. Actually, about 18 years ago, I was earning about $500,000. That's 500,000. But I was always broke. I didn't know where my money was going. And I would tell people, this money thing is difficult to understand. If only we had organizations like this bringing us together and teaching us how to invest in the capital markets, by now, my name should have been on the Forbes list. But we are coming there, right? We are getting there. So count it a great honor and privilege and blessing to be listening to presentations like this. And trust me, all of the things that you have heard and the things I'm going to share will help your future if you can start now. So I'm going to be talking about the how and why of investing in the capital market. I'm sorry I didn't meet the previous conversations, but it's simple. Now, what is a capital market? Literally, imagine a marketplace where companies can raise money to grow their businesses, and individuals can invest their savings to earn returns. That's what it is. Listen, you may look at big organizations in awe and in excitement, but they are looking up to you too. Because without your money, without my money, these organizations cannot thrive. Do you agree with me? So we are important in the grand scheme of things. Your money can go into MTN. Your money can go into Nestle. Your money can go into Facebook. Your money can go into Amazon and Google, no matter how small. And you will earn the title of a shareholder and an investor. I tell people it's not about the quantity for starters. It is about the seed that is being sown. So at the capital market, companies are looking for investors like you and I. And even if it is 1,000 naira, you have the right to be called an investor. If you have 1,000 naira that you can spare, you are an investor already. Go on to the next slide, please. So what I have literally said is there are companies looking for your money. They are depending on you. They are depending on I to try. Go on to the next slide. How have capital markets and companies thrived over the years? How many of you can quickly tell me some of the products that you use at home? Quickly. Products that you use at home, that you use in school on a day-to-day basis. Yes. Sorry? Body lotion, Coca-Cola, right? Nestle, MTN, Airtel. Do we still have Airtel? Because they have changed name so much that, but we know the best. The ones that I can remember are the best, by all means. Then you have companies abroad, like already mentioned, Facebook and Google. Amongst the different asset classes, there are different asset classes. You can invest in stocks and shares. That's where capital market comes in. But you can also invest in things like mutual fund, like real estate. But fundamentally, over the years, many companies have done well. So the capital market or the equity asset class is such an important one. As I was going through my notes, I just checked some of the share prices of some of the companies. Now, this is my personal policy. If I use your product, I must be a shareholder. As you are collecting my money, I'm also chopping your money. Do you get now? Do me, I do you. You get my point. So I use MTN. I've started to use MTN. I started using MTN when they came to Nigeria. So when the opportunity came to buy their shares, I jumped on it. When I travel, I use Amazon, I buy on Amazon. You know, but coupled with the fact that I'm an accountant, so I'm able to look at their performance and take a decision. But predominantly, that affects my decision. But over the years, many of these companies have done so well. So if at this stage, imagine, some of us are 19, 20, 16, or even younger, you start to buy into those stocks. Imagine how their performances will be in the long haul. Let me tell you a story. A mentor of mine was telling me recently how his friend of his bought Amazon shares in the US when it was $2 in 1990 something. How many of you know how much Amazon is worth right now? Okay, if you don't know Amazon, at least you know Jeff Bezos, right? Imagine buying just 10 units of Amazon stock when it was $2 at $20. Imagine what the person's worth will be. That's the advantage of investing in the capital markets, investing in stocks in the long haul. So historical performance, they've done well. Real estate has done well. Mutual funds have done well. Some of those other types of assets have not done too well. I mean, if you have been following the investment story in Nigeria, the last 2 years have been a lot of basketballs. But the capital market over the long haul continues to do well. My next slide. My slides are not a lot, but I hope you are getting something already. Now, what are the benefits of investing in the capital market? Where you can buy stocks. I already told you that companies are looking for your money. Tell yourself, I'm an investor. You are not sure. I'm a billionaire in the making. I am highly sought after. Companies are looking for my money. Even if it is 500 naira or 1,000, because the young shall grow. Now, what are some of the, clap now if you want to clap for yourself. What are some of the benefits of investing in the capital market? Number one, long-term world growth. I have a portfolio of Nigerian stocks that I have had for about 15 years. Trust me, it's been on the upward trend in terms of growth. Do you want to know some of the stocks that I have? Should I mention them? I'm not saying go and buy them, or they are personal decisions. But like I already said, if I use you, I buy you. So I have MTN. Just examples. You do your research. You read up about stocks that are doing well, right? And then invest. I'm glad to know that the likes of SEC are regulating, and other market operators are regulating their performance. So you can plan that by the time I am 30, I want to have a portfolio worth 10 million or 20 million. It is easy because the capital market enables growth over the long haul. So I have Zenith shares, I have GTB shares, I have Okomu oil, you know oil, palm oil. Is there any house that doesn't use palm oil in a week? I have MTN, I have GTB because I've been using GTB for years. So as they are charging me, when they are paying dividends, I'm also enjoying. You catch the drift. And overseas, I have Google, I have Tesla, and a lot more. Over the long term, it helps me build wealth. Number two, it helps to hedge against inflation. And number three, it helps you to diversify. You can buy in different sectors. Next slide. Don't worry, I'm going to wrap up in a bit. But there are risks if you are investing in the capital market. Sometimes there's market volatility. Sometimes the stocks will go like this, sometimes it will come like this. So that's why you can't put your school fees, listen to me, in the stock market. Are you with me? Because you may be buying at 20 naira, and in January, when you're supposed to pay your school fees, it is 15 naira. Don't say it is one auntie that said you should go and buy stocks, right? It is money you can afford to invest in the long term because of the market volatility, because of the risk of loss. And sometimes because you need to research. Next slide. Start to invest early. Who is promising me that before the end of this year, they are going to buy at least 3 stocks? Listen to me. With 1,000 naira, you can buy a stock each of 10 good, let me not go and, 1,000 naira divided by 10 is how much? 100. There are stocks that are way lower than 100. You can get a share broker or stock broker and tell them, this is a seed, I want to start. And then you can continue to build on it every month, till you are 30. You will thank me. When you see me sometime in the future, you say, Auntie, you came to our school. I want to give you a Lamborghini. You get? Right. Start to invest early. Let the power of compound interest. When they pay you dividend, do you know what dividends are? Each time the company makes profit, the company for which you're a stock shareholder, when they make profit, they pay you dividend, a share of their profit. When you get that dividend, don't eat it, invest it. That's what compound interest means. I think I have 2 more slides. When you go home, go and read about how to operate in the capital market, about the stocks that you can buy, about compound interest, about dividends, and just start. Sow a seed. Don't wait till you have 1 million naira. Last slide, I think, or second to the last. Ladies and gentlemen, I know I came late, but I hope with these few points of mine, right? I've been able to convince you. And for you, go back. To take these practical steps. Number 1, if you have a bank account, then you can open a brokerage account with any stockbroking firm. I don't know if we have any one of them as sponsors. Before they go and register and say, open a brokerage account for me. Give me my CSCS number and make sure that every month you're buying a stock. Understand your risk tolerance. I've told you, don't go and put your school fees there or your textbook money. It is money that you can afford to keep and invest for the long haul. And then understand the basic, all of the things that we have discussed today will necessarily not suffice. If you want to build wealth, you must commit to knowledge. You must continue to learn, right? Who is promising me that they're going to take actionable steps from today? And who is assuring me that, Auntie, all of these things you are saying, in 10 years, I'll be balling? Who is promising me? Even me, self, I'll be balling. It's private jet that will bring me to Ilorin next time. I won't be hopping on overland, your motto. You catch the drift, have the vision. Thank you so much for having me. My name is Shola Adeshaki. I'm the lead coach and founder of Smart Stewards. We can continue this conversation. Check out Shola Adeshaki on social media and Smart Stewards, and let's help you take your financial journey a notch higher. Thank you.
All right. Please, let's appreciate her one more time. We've been waiting for her for hours, and she's been able to do justice to her presentation. And very lovely and interesting, isn't it? All right. Let's appreciate her one more time. So we thank you also, for making it to the auditorium, Mrs. Adeshaki. Thank you very much. And just as she has said, the discussion can continue on her social media handles. So distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I made a promise earlier that those that will be going for the Zuru prayer, don't worry, will be out of here before the time. And if you check your time now, I think we still have just a little more minute before the prayers. And we will make a good use of the time, because there's need for us to appreciate all of these people. You've been clapping for them in appreciation of what they have done, their presentations, but then the SEC actually wants to do, a little better and bigger, for them in the appreciation of what they have been doing. You're looking at my face more like you have something to say? Or we should just go ahead? All right, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we've got some people, to appreciate by giving them, we have our award presentation, and we're not going to take much of our time, doing this. And the very first will be going to the Director, Market Development Department of SEC, Mr. Tunde Kamali. So, and to do the presentation of this award, I'm calling on the Vice Chancellor, Thomas Adewumi University, Professor Francisca Ladipo. Mr. Tunde Kamali, please just.
The Financial Literacy Technical Committee of SEC Nigeria presents this recognition award to Mr. Tunde Kamali in sincere appreciation for your contribution to the capital market. Today, 9th November 2023, at the auditorium of the University of Ilorin. Congratulations, sir.
All right, thank you very much, sir and ma'am. The next one is going to the founder, Money Africa, Mrs. Tosin Olaseyinde. And to do the presentation, I'm calling on the Vice Chancellor of Jaja University, Professor Jelil Olasokona Ojuade.
From the Financial Literacy Technical Committee, in your recognition as one of the, for your, sorry, I don't know, okay, recognition award presented to Oluwatosin Olaseyinde, the founder, Money Africa. Congratulations.
All right, congratulations. And the next award goes to the MD, United Capital Assets Management PLC, Mrs. Odiri Ogini. Mrs. Ogini. And the award is to be presented by Dr. Akib Oyewale. You're tired of clapping? It seems so.
Thank you so much, Odiri, for the presentation.
And just before you sit down, Dr. Oyewale, I'm calling also on the founder, Smart Stewards, Mrs. Shola Adeshaki. Okay, thank you everyone. And next award is going to the Honorable Commissioner for Business, Innovation and Technology, Kwara State, Honorable Damilola Yusuf. And to present the award, I'm calling again on the Vice Chancellor, Thomas Adewumi University. Who is representing her? She's not here. Commissioner for Business, Innovation and Technology, Kwara State. Okay, all right. And the last award, but not the least, of course, please don't sit down yet, madam. VC. Yes, to the big wig, the Honorable Commissioner for Education and Human Capital Development, Kwara State, Hajia Sadatu Modibo Kawu. And the award is to be presented by the Vice Chancellor, Thomas Adewumi University, Oko.
Honorable Commissioner Sadatu Modibo Kawu, Commissioner for Education, Kwara State. I am honored and privileged to present this recognition award to you in sincere appreciation for your contribution to the capital market today, 9th day of November 2023 at the University of Ilorin Auditorium. Congratulations, ma'am.
Dr. Oyewale, you may wish to join for photograph. We can have all the awardees for photograph with the awards. Come with your awards. All the awardees with the awards. Mrs. Osi? Okay, with the award. So, since he's the only man here, you sandwich him. All right, congratulations to all the awardees, and congratulations. Ladies and gentlemen, to speak on behalf of the awardees, I'll be calling on Mrs. Shola Adeshaki. Mrs. Adeshaki, on behalf of the awardees, and
All right. Thank you so much. On behalf of all the awardees, we want to thank the Security and Exchange Commission of Nigeria, SEC, the Financial Literacy Technical Committee. I want to thank the University of Ilorin. I want to thank all of the other universities represented. We want to appreciate all the sponsors, and of course, the very important and distinguished ladies and gentlemen in the hall. Without your applause, without you listening, this award will be non-significant. So thank you, everybody, and God bless.
All right, thank you very much. And to give the closing remarks, I'm calling on Dr. Akim Oyewale.
Vice Chancellors here present and distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I would like to thank you all. I mean, the hall is still filled, at this time of the day. You've really been a good audience. Please clap for yourselves, please. I would like to thank the sponsors for this event. FMDQ, very good, the gold sponsor. Please, let's clap for FMDQ. Marble Capital, let's clap for them, please. Utica Capital, Lotus Capital, and for all our panelists as well, all the universities here present, let's clap for ourselves. I said during my initial speech, please don't take this as knowledge for yourselves alone. Take this as a train the trainers program. So as you leave here, make sure you spread the gospel. Please understand what has been said about Ponzi schemes. You heard what Aderonke said earlier. Anybody that is a part of the Ponzi scheme is driven by greed. Don't let us be greedy. Okay? So please, for everything we learned today, let's make use of it. Let's invest early. Let's learn to invest early. Let's learn to ask questions. Let's check. Let's confirm. Okay? And let's be ambassadors of the Nigerian capital market. Thank you all for coming.
All right. Thank you very much. And to wrap it up, I'd like to call on the Secretary of the Governing Board, KU8. Yes, a vote of thanks. And you may wish to stand there. You may wish to stand there.
I thought Dr. Yewale already did that, but on behalf of the KU8, and I hope I have the permission to also speak for the SEC, we want to thank everyone, the participating universities, the members of the KU8 universities and others who are here. We're grateful to the panelists and the speaker. Oh, I apologize. Protocol, the Honorable Commissioner, that's the government that has brought all of us together. We really thank you, ma'am, for representing her. And please give her our warmest regards. And the tech crew, thank you so much. University of Ilorin, the Better by Far University. Thank you for always giving the KU8 the platform to come together. We hope to see you all very, very soon. And I must tell our participating universities that we are already talking about some exciting programs. So if you think you had some excitement today, you just watch out. You're going to be having that excitement possibly every 2 weeks, every month, and possibly weekly. Thank you so much. And journey message to everyone that will be traveling out of Ilorin.
All right, thank you very much. We thank members of the Fourth Estate of the REM, the press. Thank you for always. And for the benefit of those who joined us late, please, as I call on you, you make a noise. KWASU participants, Ojaja University, Summit University, Al-Hikma, participant from Al-Hikma University, Haman Patiji University, Thomas Adewumi University, University of Ilorin. Thank you very much, everyone, for your patience. We appreciate you so much. Shall we all rise for the university anthem? Don't worry, when next your university is hosting, it will be the turn. Okay, KU8 anthem. First. behalf of my colleague that we've been doing it together here. Okay. Yes, we have the commissioner in the house. So we'll take the national anthem. On behalf of my colleague here, Nasiruddin Jamil, that we've been doing it together, you call him for your social events. You know, we want to say thank you very much. There's going to be a group photograph. I think at the back there will be better. Or should we do it here? Yes. Members on the high table will move to the front seat, the front row here. So our Honorable Commissioner, please kindly help us lead the Commissioner to, yes, then we have our sponsors to join them. Please remain where you are for the group photograph. Let's do it here.
Girls in my crib, zero Snapchat, zero Instagram posting. Fuck up the vibe, my day. Start running like London Bridge. I don't care if I saw you in a magazine or if you're on TV. That will not mean nothing to me.
Dr. Lawal, the commissioner is waiting. Take her to where she's sitting, please. They are to sit at the front row. The participants, don't go yet. Let's do the group photograph. Just remain where you are. You stand up. So photographers, you can mount the stage now. Paper presenters, our vice chancellors.
Mama Sheba, come back on. Make me the start to the paragon.
Next to her.
Start to the halagon. Cause you know say my people they calagon.
Dr. Dewale, you are sitting by the right hand side of the commissioner. Okay. Yes, let's have our paper presenters. We're waiting. Dr. Adeyemi, we're waiting. Please. All the sponsors. So our participants, so let's move close to where they are seated. Participants, please stand up and move close to where we have the members of the table now.
I used to call myself an ugly you, but I'm not even an ugly you. I'm a sexy you, understand?
Let's do this just in 1-2 minutes. We are done. Let's do this.
No man fit talk shit to me. You know me, you go collect. See, I'm on a middle that she want you. I'm a fucking baller. I don't need. No man fit talk shit to me. You know me, you go collect. Chase my friends and click. When I call them, I all pulling up. We strap up with the guns and the swords and things sprinkle. Anybody will try to see. I'm your dad, I'm your uncle.
And the desk officers. If your participants are not joining, let's have the desk officers here, please. Please join. Kwasu, why are you still waiting there? Can move. Don't miss out of this.